I hope that your year is off to a great start, as great as could possibly be hoped for given the circumstances. I know that this year is incredibly challenging, whether you are hybrid, in person, online. It is just hard across the board. Kyle from Mr. Kyle Cohen's channel, which if you don't follow him, you need to follow him. He is one of my absolute favorite teacher YouTubers. There's so many that I love, but he is the creator of this teacher tag video, and it is open to anyone. So if you are a teacher YouTuber and you want to participate in this tag, the questions are going to be left below in the description box. Honestly, even if you don't have a channel and you just kind of want a safe place to vent and talk about how you're feeling and what's been going on, feel free to answer the questions down below in the comment section. So the first question says, what is your current teaching context, in person, hybrid, or remote? Currently, we are 100% remote for the foreseeable future at least. The way that our schedule is broken down for our district is from 7:30 to 8 o'clock every morning, teachers have a teacher prep. And then from 8 to 8:30, we have a morning meeting where we do some kind of game. Lately, we've just been having the kids share out because they're muted for most of the day. So that's their time to kind of share anything they want to share. And then from 8:30 to 9:45, we have our ELA block. And then we have recess from 9:45 to 10 o'clock to 11:15 is math, lunch from 11:15 to 12. And then after lunch from 12 to 1, we have 2 small groups. Wednesdays, we do mystery science and art after lunch. Okay, question number 2. Have things changed since the start of the school year? Are they expected to shift? What does the process look like? So currently things have not changed since the beginning of the year. We've been remote the whole time. There's actually a board meeting about it tonight, so I'm gonna attend that and see what they say. But there's supposedly 3 plans that they're proposing, and none of them are going back full time. So my principal is talking about it today in our grade level meeting. I think one of the options is staying remote. Another one would be a hybrid schedule where the kids would be virtual for the first half of the day until after lunch. And so that way, all of the learning that we've been building and all the schedules and routines and everything that we've been doing is the same. And then the parents have an option to come back after lunch for social emotional learning, but that's going to be completely optional. And then I think the third option is something like hybrid but rotating days, and they're not here for the full time. I don't want to speculate too much on exactly what I think our district will or will not do, because obviously I don't have very many answers, and so I don't want to put out false information for parents watching. But that's kind of what the talk is, which is kind of disheartening too, because it just feels like we're never going to be back in person full time. It's never going to feel regular, and for someone with anxiety and someone who's not good with change, who likes a schedule, who likes their routine, someone who loves their job, this has been a nightmare, and I can't wait for it to end, and I can't wait to go back. But trying to put on a positive face and just grin and bear through it, because it is what it is, and complaining is definitely not going to change anything. The next question says, what is something that you have come to enjoy about your current teaching context? So I actually made some notes because I want to make sure that I included everything that I wanted to include. So the first thing that I have enjoyed about it is our small group time. So that 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock time, since it's just a small group of kids, there's only 4 to 6 kids in each group, they all get to be unmuted. We get that more one-on-one time where I feel like I actually am getting to know them, because throughout most of the day, unless they're answering a question or asking a question, they're muted. And so I feel like that has been one of the hardest parts, although I'm getting ahead of myself because that's the next question. Next thing that I really like is that we have built-in time now for social emotional learning. In the past, it's been more heavily focused on rigor and standards and learning targets and success criteria, and those are the things that we focused on in walkthroughs and on observations, and when someone important from the district came through, those are the things that you want to make sure that you were doing and focusing on. And so now I'm really thankful that our district recognizes that this is an important time to focus on that and is actually giving us time to do it. My district has built in that 30 minutes of morning meeting time every day so that my kids get a chance to interact with each other, and we get to check in with them on how they're doing, and it's not just so like go, go, go with academics. The next thing that I'm excited about is that the kids are excited about school. Even though this is not fun, being online and staring at a screen all day and having to be muted and not having that regular social interaction like we would have at school, obviously it's not as good, it's different, but I know that they're appreciative that they at least get to have the interaction with the teacher, with their peers, that they're learning, that they have something to do, I think. Now, are they all doing their work? No, but they're showing up, so I'm happy about that. Something that I thought was really cute is that a couple of my kids have gone on vacation. One of them went to the river, another one went camping at the beach, and they still wanted to join while they were on vacation. So they didn't want to have to just get like independent study work. They wanted to actually be online with the class. And I thought that that was really cool, because I remember being a kid and I was like, vacation? Peace out, school. So that makes me happy that they still want to be on with their class and that they're enjoying it at least enough to want to come. So that is a win in my book. Another thing that I wrote down is that kids are getting to know each other more than I had originally anticipated. And that was one thing that was really bumming me out in the beginning, is that I felt like I was just talking at them all day. And I feel like now I've been trying a couple of different things that have been giving them more opportunities to get to know each other. One of which is breakout rooms. Basically, it allows you to section off different Google Meets, and then the kids can join the different Google Meets, and then you can toggle between each room so that you can hear what they're doing, and then you can silence it when you go to the next room so that you're not hearing like all the groups at one time, and then you're able to just meet with a smaller group. So if you want to do that, I would definitely recommend starting with something not academic, like maybe give them a game to play or an icebreaker of some sort. Because the first time I did it, I had them go in there and work on a grammar assignment together that I thought was going to be really easy. And I thought it would just be a cool opportunity for them to get to be unmuted and work together, kind of like if they were just in a collaborative group at school. And it went awful. So one group was arguing, one group was completely silent and just doing it on their own, and then two groups were working together nicely. But even though it didn't go perfectly, my kids have been begging me to do it again, so I know that they at least enjoyed it. Some other things that they've been doing to get to know each other is the share time in the morning, like I had said before. They just get time to share whatever they want to share, and then kids always ask each other questions, so they're kind of getting to interact a little bit more. Some of my kids stay on at recess and lunch to just hang out and chat, and so I leave the meet open so that they can do that. And it's recorded, so if anything does happen, I can go back and look at it and we can address any issues, but that hasn't been a problem yet. I thought it was super cute that they wanted to stay on and get to know each other better, so I loved that. And then the last thing that I've come to enjoy about this is that I've been doing a hand lettering club at lunch. So I'll show you. I got this book on Amazon. I think they have it at like Target and stuff too. It's just Hand Lettering 101 by Chock Full of Love. If you follow her on Instagram, she has a lot of hand lettering tips, but this is one of her books. And so all I've been doing is just going one letter at a time. So this is mine. This is from when I very first started to learn this, so these are really bad. But I'm not an expert or anything, but I just thought it would be a fun thing that we could do together. So if the kids want to stay on, then they can stay on and be unmuted. And I just have my projector showing on my paper, and we do one line together. I show them, and then they practice it a couple times, then we do another letter, and they absolutely love it. Okay, so the next question says, what are some of the greatest challenges you are currently facing when thinking about your current teaching context? Okay, this one I have a lot of notes for too. The first thing that I said was something that I also heard Shelly say in her video, Early Adventures. The hardest part for me is that I feel like I don't accurately know what they know and don't know. In person, I'm constantly walking around. The kids are working on something on whiteboards every time we're doing a lesson. I can immediately see who gets something and who doesn't. And right now, about a third of my kids have their camera off all day, so I don't even know if they're actually there. Half the time that I'll call on them or, you know, just kind of try to check in with them, they just won't respond. So that's been really hard. I've been still having my kids solve things on whiteboards, and I'll be like, all right, hold up your whiteboard and show me, but about half of the class just doesn't. And so I understand if the kids are too shy to show their answers, maybe they think they got it wrong, and so they don't want to share that in front of the whole class. And as someone with anxiety, I totally understand that, and so I'm never going to be the teacher that calls a kid out. That's been probably the hardest part, is that I don't feel like I have an accurate read on what they know and don't know. So that's been really challenging and frustrating. The next thing that's been hard is that I feel like I'm just doing tech support all day long. And I am not the most techie person, you know. I have a YouTube channel, but that was many hours of tears trying to figure out how the heck to edit and trying to teach 7 and 8-year-olds how to use their computer when all I can see on GoGuardian is one of their tabs. I can't see their whole screen or their whole computer. That's been really hard, both for me and students, and obviously parents as well who are there or sometimes aren't there and have to try to guide them through that. And it's also hard because all of the kids need help all the time. So then, you know, on GoGuardian, there's the call features. I can call the kids' computers and try to work it through try to work through it with them. But then I have a list of 25 kids who are all waiting to get one-on-one help at one point or another throughout the day. Sometimes there's like 10 of them waiting at one time. And so it's just been so hard to try to navigate that. And there's been so many tech issues. I feel like every single one of our programs has gone wrong at some point. Google Meets frequently kicks students out, or it's laggy, or they can't hear me at all. Honestly, besides all of that stuff, the hardest part for me is not being able to physically be there with them. I miss that actual genuine connection that you get when you're there in person with them. It's just, it's not the same at all. I'm the only one unmuted all day, and I just feel like for the majority of the day, I'm just talking at them, and I try to give them as many opportunities as I can to share things and to share their answers and to talk through their work, and it's not the same. This is not how I teach. And so just sitting all day, staring at a screen, talking at them, this is boring. And I know they're bored, I'm bored. Honestly, I'm doing my best to stay positive and find things to be grateful for each day, because there are way more negatives than positives right now. And so it's easy to just kind of get sucked into that negative spiral, and then it's nearly impossible to get out. And that's kind of where I was at the beginning of the year. So I've pulled myself out of that. I'm trying to be better about when work is done, it's done, and I clock out, even though I'm teaching from my bedroom. So home is work and work is home, and I never leave. And I'm just trapped in this little like 300 square foot box all day. Anyways, going down the negative spiral, so just gonna get out of that. But yeah, I'm trying to be grateful and positive and just find things outside of work that I can be happy about and that bring me joy. We're getting through it. This will end eventually. Next question. The next question says, if you had a magic wand that could zap you back to pre-pandemic times, what would your perfect day of teaching look like? I love this question. Kyle, you did so good on these questions. You should make more teacher tags. Okay, I made notes on this one too. My perfect day of teaching, of course, would start with hugs and high fives at the door. Then we would do a morning song on the carpet with dancing and laughter. We still try to do this online. Actually, I tried to do it in the beginning, but they were just not really that into it and not super comfortable with each other yet. So maybe I'll try it again this month or next month. And then we go outside and play a game for PE. We normally have PE in the morning, and just getting to be outside in the sunshine and playing together, that sounds like fun right now. And then I'd like to come back inside and do centers where kids could be spread out around the room, and working together and collaborating with their peers and having those rich conversations. And while they're doing that, I would be pulling students for book chats. Oh, I miss doing book chats one-on-one so bad. So normally when kids finish a book, I have a book chat with them where they get to share with me what they liked about the book, what they didn't like, surprising parts, make connections to themselves, other texts, or the world. And I kind of keep track of their reading that way instead of doing a reading log. And this way I get to know them as readers one-on-one. I get to help them pick books. I can have important conversations with them about what they're reading. It kind of keeps them accountable for what they're reading. And it's just one of my favorite times of the day. So we don't have any time for that right now online, and I am missing that so much. I'm also missing math games. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how hard it is to teach math virtually. Whew. So normally in the classroom, we will do a lot of hands-on learning with manipulatives. Obviously, that is not possible right now. So one of our TOSAs found all these different math oh my gosh, why can't I talk today? Manipulative websites, and I'm going to share them on Instagram in the next couple days. So if you're looking for math manipulatives, I'm going to be sharing a ton of them over on Instagram. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram and you will see those. So if we were in person, we would play math games using Magic of Math, which is one of my absolute favorite units. Actually, it's for each unit, but Amy Lemons and Hope King, they created these really awesome units. They have them for, I think, K through 5. I could be wrong on that. Go check that out on TPT, but basically every single unit, they just have a ton of hands-on games that the kids are obsessed with. So we would definitely be playing some of those. Then we would do science. So we are doing science on Wednesdays right now, but we're using mystery science, and it is so hard to follow along with the activities because they always have to have something printed out and in front of them, or doing something hands-on that requires materials. So there's really no way for us to do that, especially because not all students have access to the same materials. So we'll walk through the videos with them. We'll do what we can. Mystery Science now has a distance learning guide. So it's right on their website when you first log in under the units. It says distance learning guide. I think there's like a little heart next to it or something. And you click on it and it tells you which lessons that you would skip or what you would do differently if you're doing it online versus in person, and what you can replace. So it's been okay, but honestly, it's been really boring. There's no hands-on and the kids aren't really liking it. So I would love to do some kind of hands-on science lesson with the kids. Or honestly, even if we weren't doing an actual science lesson, some kind of STEM project where they got to be hands-on, that would be really fun. I know STEM projects are tied to standards, but you know what I mean. It's not part of like an actual curriculum. The last thing that I would want is flexible seating. So I have no idea how that's gonna work when we go back to the classroom. Obviously, I'm gonna have to make a ton of changes when I set up my classroom this year because there's not gonna be allowed any cloth material, which is a lot of what's in my classroom. So no futon, no privacy chairs, no camping chairs. I'm hoping I'll still be able to get away with having some flexible seating at the kids' desks, but I don't know how we're gonna choose who gets what seat, or if they don't like that seat and they wanna trade. So honestly, we might just do desks and chairs this year, and that breaks my heart a little bit, but it's for their safety, so we're gonna do it. And I don't have another choice, so we're gonna do it either way. But in my perfect day, the kids would be able to choose wherever they wanna sit during different parts of the day and be comfortable and moving around and focused and happy. So that would be my perfect typical day pre-pandemic, which I am just waiting with bated breath until we can do that again. The last question says, what changes do you hope to see in our education system as a result of this pandemic? The biggest thing that I hope that people who are not teachers take away from this, putting kids in front of screens all day is not the best way to teach them. And we're seeing that now because so many kids are not engaged in their learning. They're not completing assignments. They're not understanding things. They're not showing up for class. No amount of technology can replace you as a teacher because the relationships that you build with your students and that trust that you build and that confidence that you build in them, that is imperative to them being successful in their learning. And I hope that if you are not feeling appreciated and supported right now, that you know that you are appreciated and that you are respected and that what you do matters and is important. And I know that you are pouring your entire heart and soul and time and energy into what you are doing right now. And if that is not being appreciated where you are, I want you to know that I appreciate you and that you are being seen and heard and valued here. I know we all have a lot of mixed opinions and feelings about everything going on right now, so I really want to invite you all to be a part of the conversation down below in the comments, or if you have a YouTube channel and you want to participate in the tag, it's open for anyone and everyone who wants to join. And I want to give a big shout out to Kyle for starting this tag and coming up with amazing questions for us to continue this important conversation around what's happening in education right now. And honestly, you guys, if you don't follow him, you need to go follow him. He is an amazing human being. Hang in there, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.